Survival games push you to your limits, testing your ability to stay alive in hostile environments, fend off dangerous creatures, and manage scarce resources. Every decision is important, from crafting weapons and building shelters to finding food and water. Here you will face the ultimate challenge as you explore the best survival games that will have you fighting to stay alive against all odds. Imagine a game where you're thrown into a post-apocalyptic world teeming with zombies and you need to survive by any means necessary. That's what 7 Days to Die is all about. This game blends elements of survival horror, tower defense, and role-playing games into one gripping experience. You have to scavenge for resources, build shelters, craft weapons, and fend off hordes of undead creatures. The unique aspect in the day-night cycle. During the day, zombies are less aggressive, giving you time to prepare. But once night falls, they become relentless, making survival even more challenging. The game's vast open-world sandbox allows for extensive exploration and creativity, ensuring that no two games are ever the same. If you're into epic fantasy worlds, Conan Exiles is a game you'll definitely want to check out. Set in the brutal universe of Conan the Barbarian, this game lets you build your own kingdom from the ground up, fight against rival factions, and survive harsh environments. The open world is massive, filled with dangerous creatures, ancient ruins, and hidden treasures. You will spend a lot of time gathering resources, crafting weapons and armor, and constructing elaborate bases to protect yourself from enemies. The game also features a deep combat system and the ability to enslave NPCs to help with your endeavors, adding layers of strategy and management to the gameplay. Grounded offers a unique twist on the survival genre by shrinking you down to the size of an ant and dropping you into a suburban backyard. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets survival horror. You and your friends, it's got a great co-op mode, must navigate a world where everyone objects and insects become enormous challenges. You need to gather resources, craft tools and shelter, and fend off giant spiders, ants, and other creepy crawlies. The game's charming yet dangerous environment is full of secrets and surprises, encouraging exploration and creative problem solving. It's a refreshing and fun take on survival gameplay that's both nostalgic and innovative. The Forest is a survival horror game that starts with a bang. You survive a plane crash on a mysterious, heavily forested peninsula. But that's just the beginning. You quickly realize you're not alone and must contend with a tribe of cannibalistic mutants who aren't too pleased about your presence. You spend your days gathering resources, building shelters, and crafting weapons to defend yourself. The game's open-world environment is both beautiful and terrifying, with dense forests, dark caves, and abandoned campsites to explore. The dynamic weather and day-night cycle add to the immersion, making survival a constantly evolving challenge. Minecraft is the ultimate sandbox game where your creativity is the only limit. In its blocky, pixelated world, you can mine resources, build structures, and craft items to survive. The game has several modes, including survival, where you have to manage your health and hunger while fending off monsters, and creative, where you can build anything you can imagine without limitations. The procedurally generated worlds mean no two games are ever the same, and the community is constantly adding new mods, maps, and game modes to keep things fresh. Whether you're building a massive castle, exploring deep caves, or battling the Ender Dragon, Minecraft offers endless possibilities. ARK Survival Ascended takes the survival genre to a whole new level by dropping you onto an island filled with dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures. We start with nothing but must gather resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to defend yourself. But what sets ARK apart is the ability to tame and ride dinosaurs, adding a unique twist to the gameplay. The island is vast and filled with different biomes, each with its own challenges and resources. You need to explore, adapt, and evolve to survive, whether you're playing solo or with friends in multiplayer mode. The game's stunning graphics and deep crafting system make it a standout in the survival game. DayZ drops you into a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a zombie outbreak. Survival is the name of the game, and it's a tough one. You start with almost nothing and must scavenge for food, water, and supplies while avoiding zombies and other players who can be just as dangerous. The game's open-world environment is huge and unforgiving, with a realistic day-night cycle and weather system that affects gameplay. Every decision matters, and the tension is constant as you never know what's waiting around the next corner. DayZ's focus on realism and hardcore survival mechanics makes it a thrilling and challenging experience. No Man's Sky is an exploration and survival game set in a vast, procedurally generated universe. You start with a small spaceship and a desire to explore, but the game quickly becomes a quest for survival as you gather resources, craft items, and upgrade your equipment to withstand harsh planetary conditions. Each planet you visit is unique, with its own ecosystem, weather, and dangers. The game's massive scale and virtually limitless possibilities make it a dream for explorers and builders alike. Whether you're discovering alien life forms, mining for rare resources, or building bases on distant worlds, No Man's Sky offers an unparalleled sense of adventure and discovery. Palworld is a unique blend of open-world survival and creature-collecting gameplay. Think of it as Pokémon meets Minecraft with a twist. You explore a vibrant world filled with Pal, creatures that you can befriend, capture, and use in battles. But it's not just about collecting. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game also features a crafting system that lets you create a variety of items and structures, from simple tents to complex machinery. The combination of creature collection, survival, and building makes Palworld a fresh and engaging experience. Darkwood is a top-down survival horror game that plunges you into a nightmarish, ever-changing forest. You must scavenge for resources, craft weapons, and build defenses during the day to prepare for the terrifying creatures that come out at night. The game's atmosphere is incredibly tense, with its eerie sound design and minimal lighting keeping you on edge. Exploration is risky but necessary, as you need to venture into the unknown to find supplies and uncover the game's story. Darkwood's unique blend of survival mechanics and psychological horror makes it a standout title in the genre. RimWorld is a colony simulation game where you manage a group of survivors stranded on a distant planet. Each game starts with a randomly generated world and characters, each with their own skills, backgrounds, and personalities. Your job is to build a colony that can withstand the planet's harsh conditions, manage resources, and fend off threats. The game's AI storyteller adds a layer of unpredictability, throwing challenges and events at you to keep things interesting. Whether you're dealing with pirate raids, harsh weather, or internal conflicts, RimWorld offers a deep and engaging simulation experience. Subnautica takes you deep beneath the ocean on an alien planet where you must survive by exploring underwater environments, gathering resources, and building underwater bases. The game's world is stunningly beautiful and filled with diverse marine life, some of which are friendly while others are deadly. As you explore deeper into the ocean, you'll discover the story behind your crash landing and uncover the planet's secrets. The sense of isolation and discovery is palpable, and the game's immersive environments and survival mechanics make it a must-play for fans of the genre. Project Zomboid is a hardcore survival game set in a zombie-infested world. The game's top-down perspective and richer graphics might look simple, but the gameplay is anything but. You need to manage hunger, thirst, and mental health while avoiding or fighting zombies. The game's open world is filled with buildings to loot and barricade, and every decision you make affects your chances of survival. The goal is to survive as long as possible, and the game's permadeath mechanic means that every mistake can be your last. Project Zomboid's deep survival mechanics and challenging gameplay makes it a favorite among hardcore survival fans. Fallout New Vegas is an open-world RPG set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. You play as a courier who is left for dead and must navigate a world filled with dangerous creatures, warring factions, and countless secrets. The game's rich narrative and branching storylines offer a lot of replayability, as your choices affect the outcome of the game. The combat system combines first-person shooter mechanics with RPG elements, allowing you to customize your character and approach battles in different ways. With its deep story, engaging gameplay, and vast open world, Fallout New Vegas is a classic in the RPG genre. Once Human is a survival game that blends elements of horror and sci-fi. Set in a world overrun by otherworldly creatures, you must scavenge for resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to survive. The game's dynamic environments and unpredictable weather conditions add layers of challenge and immersion. Exploration is key, and you need to venture into dangerous areas to find the materials and knowledge needed to improve your chances of survival. Once Hume's atmospheric world and intense survival mechanics made it a gripping experience. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 takes you back to the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a dangerous and irradiated area filled with mutants, anomalies, and hostile factions. The game combines first-person shooter mechanics with survival and horror elements, creating a tense and immersive experience. You need to scavenge for supplies, manage your health and radiation levels, and navigate the treacherous landscape. The game's open world is filled with secrets and stories, encouraging exploration and careful planning. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2's atmospheric setting and challenging gameplay make it a highly anticipated title for fans of the genre. Raft is a survival game that starts you off on a small piece of driftwood in the middle of the ocean. Your goal is to expand your raft, gather resources from the water, and build a floating fortress to survive. You need to manage your hunger and thirst while fending off sharks and other threats. The game's co-op mode allows you to team up with friends, making the experience even more fun and engaging. As you explore the vast ocean, you'll discover islands and underwater resources, adding layers of adventure and strategy to the gameplay. Raft's unique premise and cooperative gameplay make it a standout survival title. Bellwright is a survival game set in a medieval world where you must build and defend your village against various threats. You'll gather resources, construct buildings, and recruit villagers to help with tasks. The game's dynamic seasons and weather conditions affect gameplay, requiring you to adapt and plan ahead. Combat is a significant part of Bellwright, with battles against bandits and rival factions challenging your strategic skills. The game's blend of town building, resource management, and tactical combat make it an engaging and immersive experience. Enshrouded is a survival game set in a dark and mysterious world shrouded in fog. You explore eerie landscapes, gather resources, and craft tools and weapons to survive. The game's atmospheric environments and haunting sound design create a sense of tension and danger. Exploration is crucial, as you need to uncover the secrets of the world and find safe places to rest and resupply. Enshrouded's unique setting and immersive gameplay make it a captivating experience for survival game enthusiasts. Smalland, Survive the Wild shrinks you down to the size of a small creature and places you in a vast and tamed wilderness. You'll need to gather resources, build shelters, and fend off predators while you navigate in a world where everything is much larger and more dangerous. The game's detailed environments and dynamic weather conditions add layers of challenge and immersion. Smalland's unique perspective and survival mechanics make it a fresh and engaging take on the genre. Sons of the Forest is a survival horror game that serves as a sequel to The Forest. You find yourself stranded on an island filled with dangerous mutants and mysterious creatures. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to survive. The game's dynamic environments and realistic graphics create a sense of immersion and tension. Exploration is key, and you uncover the island's secrets and fight to survive against increasingly difficult threats. Sons of the Forest's atmospheric setting and challenging gameplay make it a must-play for fans of survival horror. Forever Skies is a survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world where you explore the skies in a high-tech airship. You need to gather resources, craft equipment, and upgrade your airships to survive. The game's unique setting and area exploration mechanics offer a fresh take on the survival genre. You'll encounter various challenges, including harsh weather conditions and hostile creatures, as you navigate the skies and search for a new home. Forever Skies' blend of exploration and survival mechanics make it an engaging and innovative experience. Wartales is a survival RPG set in a medieval world ravaged by war and plague. You lead a band of mercenaries managing their resources, skills, and morale as you navigate a dangerous and unpredictable world. The game's open-world exploration and turn-based combat offer a deep and strategic experience. You need to gather resources, complete quests, and make tough decisions that affect the outcome of your journey. Wartales' rich narrative and engaging gameplay make it a standout title in the survival RPG genre. Abiotic Factor is a sci-fi survival game set in a hostile alien world. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft advanced technologies to survive. The game's dynamic environment and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is key, as you uncover the mysteries of the alien world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Abiotic Factor's unique setting and immersive gameplay make it a captivating experience for fans of sci-fi and survival games. Nightingale is a survival game set in a Victorian fantasy world filled with magic and mystery. You need to gather resources, craft tools and weapons, and build shelters to survive. The game's rich lore and atmospheric environments create a sense of immersion and wonder. Exploration is crucial, as you encounter strange creatures and uncover the secrets of the world. Nightingale's blend of fantasy and survival mechanics makes it a unique and engaging experience. V-Rising is a survival game where you play as a vampire trying to rebuild your empire. You gather resources, craft weapons, and build a fortress to defend against enemies. The game's dark and atmospheric world is filled with dangers and opportunities for expansion. You need to manage your hunger for blood and navigate the complex politics of the vampire world. V-Rising's unique premise and engaging gameplay make it a standout title in the survival genre. Aloft is a survival game set in a floating world of islands suspended in the sky. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's unique setting and area exploration mechanics offer a fresh take on the survival genre. You encounter various challenges, including harsh weather conditions and hostile creatures, as you navigate the skies in search for a new home. Aloft's blend of exploration and survival mechanics make it an engaging and innovative experience. Scrap Mechanics Survival combines survival gameplay with creature building mechanics. You need to gather resources, craft tools, and build vehicles and structures to survive. The game's dynamic environments and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is key, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Scrap Mechanics Survival's blend of creativity and survival mechanics make it a fun and engaging experience. The Long Dark is a survival game set in the harsh wilderness of the Canadian Arctic. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's realistic environments and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is crucial, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. The Long Dark's blend of realism and survival mechanics make it a captivating and immersive experience. Valheim is a survival game set in a procedurally generated Viking world. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to survive. The game's dynamic environments and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is key, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Valheim's blend of Norse mythology and survival mechanics make it a unique and engaging experience. Green Hell is a survival game set in the dense and dangerous Amazon rainforest. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's realistic environments and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is crucial, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Green Hell's blend of realism and survival mechanics make it a captivating and immersive experience. Rust is a hardcore survival game where you must gather resources, build shelters, and craft weapons to survive. The game's open-world environment is filled with dangers, including other players who can be just as deadly as the wildlife. Rust's emphasis on player interaction and competition makes it a thrilling and challenging experience. Whether you're forming alliances or engaging in brutal combat, every decision matters in Rust's unforgiving world. Sunkenland is a survival game set in a world where rising sea levels have submerged most of the land. You need to gather resources, build floating shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's unique setting and dynamic environments offer a fresh take on the survival genre. Exploration is key, and you uncover the mysteries of the submerged world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Sunkenland's blend of exploration and survival mechanics make it an engaging and innovative experience. Emprise is a survival game set in a prehistoric world where you must gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's dynamic environments and challenging conditions require careful planning and adaptation. Exploration is crucial, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Emprise's blend of prehistoric settings and survival mechanics make it a unique and captivating experience. The Last of Us Part 1 is an action-adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic world. You play as Joe, a smuggler tasked with escorting a young girl named Ellie across the country. The game's rich narrative and emotional storytelling make it a standout title in the genre. You need to gather resources, craft weapons, and fight off infected creatures and hostile humans to survive. The Last of Us Part 1's blend of intense action and deep storytelling make it a must-play for fans of survival games. Don't Starve Together is a multiplayer survival game set in a dark and whimsical world. You need to gather resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive. The game's unique art style and challenging gameplay make it a fun and engaging experience. Exploration is key, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Don't Starve Together's blend of cooperative gameplay and survival mechanics make it a great choice for playing with friends. Pacific Drive is a survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world where you must drive through dangerous environments to survive. You need to gather resources, upgrade your vehicle, and navigate treacherous landscapes filled with hazards and enemies. The game's unique premise and dynamic environments offer a fresh take on the survival genre. Exploration is crucial, and you uncover the mysteries of the world and find ways to improve your chances of survival. Pacific Drive's blend of driving mechanics and survival gameplay make it a thrilling and engaging experience. So, did you like the games I recommend? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell, because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye!